Hey, Dave.
Hey, out in the community, here we are. So, I usually start it, but I'm not surprised this guy started here. I'm out in Corunna today, talking with my friend Sean Boivin. Thanks so much for giving me
Yes,
your
thank you,
time today,
Dave.
Sean.
It's very great to have you here.
Yeah, well, there's a lot that we could talk about, and it's kind of. I know you probably agree. Timing's everything, and you've tried to. We're going to talk about Boneyard and some other bands and stuff, and you've tried to get me to come out and watch, and I finally was able to at Captain Kidd Days, and we'll get to all of that. But let's go back to, and everybody typically knows I've got a couple cliche questions, but where did life begin for you?
Well, I was born in Windsor, and then I got adopted at the age of 3 to a lovely couple from Chatham, Ontario, the Boivins. So that's when I became a Boivin. Before that, I was actually, I was an Emon before that. So it was really weird. Yeah. And after that, I mean, just they were wonderful parents. So I got really lucky. I say all the time they saved my life because I could have been stuck in the system for my entire life. I mean, I was in the foster care system for full almost 2 years before I was adopted.
Right.
And I went through 9 foster homes.
How old were you when you were adopted?
3.
Yeah. So how do you remember that? Like, I mean, at 3, that's pretty young. What's your earliest memory?
The earliest memory I have was the last foster home that I had. And it had to do with someday or something. I was fighting with the brother of the house, basically, because there was just me and another kid, and that was his mom.
Okay, yeah, right.
And we were fighting, and it was this giant Batman coloring book, and that's the first memory that I have is having an argument with my brother over this Batman coloring book.
And that was in the foster home.
Yeah, and that was the last foster home before I was adopted. Yeah.
Wow. But the ones before that, I mean, you were pretty young. You don't remember all of those, do you?
No, I don't remember. Don't. No conscious memory anymore.
Yeah, okay. I'm curious. When you're adopted, there's always, I think, especially at a very, very young age, the parent probably at some point goes, "When do we tell them?"
Oh, I always knew.
Yeah,
always knew. They made sure I knew from the start. They made sure.
Even at 3 years old, you could comprehend.
Oh yeah. And the big thing was they wanted me to understand that it wasn't just an adoption. It was literally that they chose me.
Right.
That was important to both my parents, that they knew that I knew
they wanted you,
that they chose me personally. Yeah. Like they're like, I was everything they wanted in a child, kind of thing. Yeah. And that was important to them, to make sure that I knew that. And I did my entire life. I knew that. I mean, I gave my parents a gears like any other kid. I mean, I was probably 30 before I made that.
Yeah, they probably questioned it at times.
I'm sure my mom did, for sure. There was, they were fantastic.
Yeah. So where were you at this time? Like, what city? You were in Chatham?
I was in Chatham, yeah. And believe it or not, I stayed in the same house the entire time, like from when I was adopted until I grew up and moved out.
Yeah. How old were you when you moved out? 10?
No, I was a very stupid young person, and I moved out when I was a teenager, and it was just... I was a typical teenager, thought I knew better than 15. My parents thought I knew better.
Oh, hey, I did. I was 15 when I moved out because I knew everything and wanted to pay my own bills.
Yeah, right. My mom had one of those signs she wanted one of those signs that hang out. Teenagers, tired of being harassed by your stupid parents.
Right.
Move out now, get a job while you still know everything, pay your own bills.
They had one hanging at my high school, I remember. So, but you turned out okay.
Well, I like to think I turned out okay.
Some of us take a little longer, but we get there eventually. And so, like, life was pretty good growing up then.
Yeah, it was. I was an 80s kid, so I was born in 76. So I got to grow up during what I consider to be one of the greatest eras ever, which is the 80s. I mean,
the 80s. I was in high school in the 80s. Yeah. Come on.
Well, I was in high school in the 90s.
Right.
It wasn't so bad. So, but
Yeah, the 80s were awesome.
I was actually in the 1991 Rap Off Against Drugs for the Pines High School in Chatham. I was in the 1991 Rap Off Against Drugs. I actually came in third. It was pretty good.
So there's the music side of what is a large part of your life. What was your or when was your first taste of music?
Oh, geez, I was in grade school.
Yeah.
My dad was a huge musician, and he sang with all kinds. He sang with Brian Hyland, Jim Reeves, Sylvia Tyson. He actually got to play with Chuck Berry back in the 60s.
Cool.
And yeah, he was pretty wild that way. So I was raised on a lot of Elvis and a lot of the old style rock and roll and everything like that. And so my first performance ever, I was doing, I can't even remember how old I was. I barely this tall. And I did Elvis songs. I dressed like Elvis. I put the thing up and I performed and I did Elvis songs. And of course, the little ladies just thought I was absolutely wonderful. Well, it's one of the voices still to this day, one of the few voices that I can mimic. I did it to the guys in the band once.
Oh, wow.
And they went, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah, right.
Which is why when we do Tragically Hip, Blow It High Dough, every time it comes out with that line about Elvis, I got to make sure I enunciate that Elvis.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
they get a kick out of that. But
so you started playing an instrument, or you were at this point you were just performing?
It was vocals and performing. That's where everything kind of started, and then I got into plays in high school and stuff like that. More performance stuff, just learning how to work a stage and how to jump into a character that you can take and you can show to an audience, which is probably part of the reason where the Minister of Madness came from. Because for years when I was younger, I was just Sean Boivin. I was just a guy who, got up and did whatever. And I entered the talent shows and I did all those weird things. And then when I got into rock music, I realized that I needed something. I needed that one thing that kind of just set me apart in my own mind. From Sean Boivin to the rock and roll persona, and that's where the Minister of Madness
uniqueness
comes in.
About you compared to everybody else.
Well, I try to stay unique as possible.
Yeah. You do a great job at it. Like you really do.
Well, thank you.
And your performance that I got to see recently, and I've talked about you behind your back, like what's he like, what does he do, and all that sort of stuff. And people are like, oh, you got to see this guy, and they got And what was high school?
Yeah.
And I always get into the school side of things, especially high school. Did you like it?
I didn't mind high school. When I was in grade 10, I actually got weaseled out of high school. The vice principal at the time, her name was Poplin. She ended up getting forced retirement because of this, actually.
Oh.
She weaseled me and 17 other students out of school by telling us that we were expelled and telling the school board that we were suspended. Oh. So we didn't come back to school because we were told we were expelled. And
then you didn't show up, and then they said, well, you didn't show up.
And they said, well, you didn't show up. No, I was told I was expelled. Well, according to our records, no, you were suspended. Yeah, she had done that to 17 other students.
Wow.
And how I found this out was the funniest part, because I was at a Detroit Tigers game.
Okay.
It was years later. I had gotten free tickets to a Detroit Tigers game from a boss that I had. And I went to the game, and sitting directly behind me was my old guidance counselor.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the one who told me, he says, you're never going to believe what happened, because he knew what happened to me back then.
Right.
And he's the one who told me that she was being forced into retirement. There was he even invited me to the retirement party. I was like,
did you go?
No, I didn't. But apparently about 10 of the other kids did.
Oh, wow.
And they, celebrated her getting the boot, because that was really bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you got through that, obviously.
Yep.
Did you graduate high school?
No, I did not. I didn't end up getting my grade 12. Yeah, I just never.
Is that okay?
For me, it is. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
never really too much worried
I didn't
about it.
graduate high school.
I everything I needed to know, I already learned from high school, basically, and everything else like that. At least in my mind at the time. Would I have liked to have finished high school, maybe gone off to a college or something? Sure, but the universe had other plans.
It's not always the path, though, right? I think I'm going to get beat up a little bit for this, but I think school's a little overrated sometimes.
Oh, I 100% agree.
I don't think it's for everybody, but for all you kids out there, go to school, get good grades. Say no to drugs, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, all that stuff they teach you in school.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right?
Not that there's music anymore.
Right. I know, right? We'll talk about that, like like when I was in high school. We had band and all that stuff, and I don't know if they still have that or not, but I think it's dwindled a bit, hasn't it?
I think a lot of those programs have gone by the wayside. There's not a lot to do with the. Now, luckily, I went to the Pines in Chatham, and at the time that I went, they had just built a state-of-the-art recording studio in the school. An 8-track reel-to-reel recording studio, booths and the whole
reel-to-reel.
Yep. And it was a big deal back then because, like,
sure was.
You had to pay big money to go into the studios.
Yeah.
My friend Dan Knight, he's actually friends with Dan Ben, who's the guy who designs all those $1 million studio boxes, the floating control rooms.
Yep.
Yeah. And
so, you're talking about Dan Knight, the musician?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. He was actually my landlord at one point.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So through all of this, Sean, you're going to school, you're sort of going to school, whatever, and then music's in there. Performing is a big part of it. Were you working through high school?
Oh yeah, I worked all kinds of jobs. I worked at a Domino's. I did a lot of pizza delivery, and I worked on a demo crew when the McGregor High School caught on fire. I worked the demo crew that went in and cleaned up all that mess. And that's actually the boss. It was Current Construction. That was actually the boss who gave me the Detroit Tiger ticket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty good.
What do you do now?
Right now, I do music. Yeah. I do music, and I help out Padres here in town. They got some new owners right now, and
I haven't been there yet. I keep trying to get there, but
go there. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Everybody panicked when the ownership changed, and this new family came in and they took over. But the reality is, they're doing a fantastic job. They were handpicked, but I like to help them because they help us too. Padres is like our home base for the band,
right?
So I pretty much center around that, and I take care of my lovely daughter up there, and I enjoy time with my grandkids when I get to see them.
Right. What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Dayanara.
Dayanara.
Yeah.
What a unique name.
Dayanara. Yeah, in Greek mythology, it's supposed to be Hercules' second wife's name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was married to a woman named Megara, and then when that went very badly, he ended up in a forest and met a bronze wood nymph named Dayanara, and that's who he ended up married to.
Are you a philosophical man, Sean?
I'm actually a licensed pagan minister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not so much a philosopher per se. I love spirituality. Right. I love people who have their own spiritual beliefs and everything else like that. Mm-hmm. My problem is mostly with organized religions, right, and things like that. But I'm a firm believer in a simple concept. We're all on this planet. We all have our own belief systems, and we all have all these different gods and deities that everybody believes in. And the funny part of it is that there's only one thing that they all agree on, and like literally from atheism to Zionism, there's only one thing every religion agrees on, which is don't do it if you don't want it done.
Yeah.
There's a form of that in every single religion on the planet. Yeah. And yet we all fight about everything else instead of going with the one thing we agree on.
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, and to that, it's like we're all really trying to achieve the same thing, and that's some kind of ultimate rest, whether that's heaven or whatever that looks like. We're
precisely
all at different paths, same destination. Really.
Well, there's only really one passage from the Bible that I read that kind of made sense to me, and that is simply what you hold true on earth shall be held true in heaven.
Right.
And that's the part that I hope is true.
Yeah.
Because everybody believes something different. But when you die, it shouldn't be a shock to your system. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so if that part holds true as well, then that's excellent. Because then what happens when you go is exactly what you believed what would happen.
Right.
And you're not shell-shocked from the experience of that.
So, okay, I don't know if we talk a lot of religion, but seeing as though we're kind of going that, well, let me ask you this question then. Do you believe Jesus was a man who existed?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As a human being, Jesus was a wonderful man.
Yeah.
3,000 years before him, a dude named Elijah.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Preached the exact same stuff.
Yeah.
My issue when it came to Christianity and Catholicism, which is why I became a pagan minister over a Christian or a Catholic one,
Yeah.
is simply the contradiction of God is love, fear him.
Yeah, I George Carlin does a good routine on God. Love me or you're going to burn.
Yeah, see, once that contradiction hit me when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I veered off. I
Yeah.
veered off. Now, I had a friend who actually was
some people are cringing at us right now.
Right,
but,
there's definitely
what?
people I'm upset. I'm a pagan. I really don't. Yeah,
it's okay.
It doesn't bother me.
It's okay.
But I actually had a friend. He was a priest at St. Joe's School in Chatham.
All right.
Because I went to Catholic school my entire life.
Okay. Oh,
and
interesting.
he was absolutely wonderful. And his name was Dave. And he was a Batman fan.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my dad took me to
Batman.
comic book conventions.
Oh.
So one time we were at a comic book convention and I got this, I got a signed by Adam West
Oh, wow.
Batman picture. And I brought it to him and I gave it to him and he cried when he got it. And then he actually left. He went to Rome, became one of the big kahunas out in Rome.
Oh, really?
Freaking, yeah. He was an absolutely wonderful individual. No, there was not any messing around. He was literally just a fantastic man and a great priest.
Yeah.
And he believed in everything he believed in very strongly.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but the utmost respect for people's beliefs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you talk about the Bible, you know, and there's so many ways we could go there, but like it's almost like you know, we talk about reading positive books now and that sort of stuff. You know, the 10 Commandments, whether you believe or not, there's some pretty good rules.
Those are decent guidelines. They're decent guidelines. There's nothing wrong with that.
Don't kill, don't cheat on your wife, all that sort of stuff.
Like I said before, though, the only thing that gets me is that we fight over whose God is right and whose God is real, rather than focusing on the one thing we all agree.
Yeah.
Which is, don't do that to me if you don't want me to do that to you, and vice versa.
The golden rule, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You would think that would be the focus. You could unite a lot of people by focusing on that one thing rather than fighting over the million things that don't need to be fought about.
Well, would you agree we're a very selfish society?
I would agree that we're definitely headed into that, to the way of people thinking everybody's almost got an agenda nowadays, and it's kind of sad, to the point where you almost being a kind person or showing other people kindness comes off like you're an oddball now.
Yeah.
And that's the part I don't like. I don't like the fact that sometimes I'll go to hold a door for someone, or I'll go to help someone with their bags and they kind of look at me like,
well, we can all have an agenda. We all do have an agenda, but it can be a positive agenda, right?
True.
Like, I've always, you know, to your point, like if I do something really nice for you, anywhere from December 1st to January 1st of the following, you know, like the end of December. Oh, that was nice. It's Christmas, right? So that was nice. But if I did the same thing in July, you might go, what does he want?
Right? And this is
the exact same thing, right?
This is my issue with that. I don't like the fact that kindness is considered an odd commodity anymore.
What do you want? Why is he being so... I mean, our kids do that to us, I think, you know, like, so Dad, oh, that's a really nice shirt you got on today. Yeah, what do you want? How much? Right?
My grandma used to say, you fishing for a quarter?
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Yes, I am. I want to go to the candy store. We learn that at a very young age, though, don't we? How to schmooze or butter up or do what needs to be done to get what we want.
It's craziness, but...
Are we? Well, I mean, we're talking about society and stuff, and how are we doing? Are we in trouble? Or were we in trouble back in the 50s too, and it just looks differently?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't really speak too much on any of that, simply because the way I view the world as opposed to a lot of people is very different.
How so?
In the sense that I like a simple life. I like simplicity in my life. I don't like a lot of drama. I don't like everything else like that. And it seems like our society now is so focused on the drama, and that's the part that I kind of that's why when I'm not really playing, I pretty much just kind of keep to myself.
Have you ever found yourself, like, I know, like, I'm of the same belief, but I find sometimes, like, I say I don't like drama, but then I find myself falling towards it, and then maybe I'm a little piece of it, and then I have to wake up and go, whoa, got to step back.
This is the joy of the Minister of Madness. I can be the drama.
Right.
But I can do it in a way that makes it fun.
Right.
So that's one of the other things I like, right? I love it when I come out on stage and I'll be wearing something that people just aren't expecting, like I'm wearing a beanie cap or something that's glow in the dark or whatever. And just for a second, they forget about something that's going on, something horrible that's happening or whatever. And I've distracted them from that.
Get them to escape reality for a little while.
This is one of the greatest things about being a performer, is that you get to take people away from all the drama and all of the suffering that's going on for even 5 minutes, even if it's just one song that resonates in the crowd with one person. That person might be different tomorrow, simply because they got to be there and have that experience with everyone else. If you don't create an experience when you perform, people forget about it.
Yeah.
But if you create an experience when they come out to see your shows, they take that with them.
Leave their troubles at the gate, pick them up on the way out. Maybe,
exactly. Yeah.
Maybe it's
one of the reasons I love the band Disturbed.
Yeah.
Because he's all about that.
I've never seen them, but I saw somebody else.
He's really all about that. He makes a point each show to let the crowd know, like, this is it. Like, leave it all out there. We're all here now in this moment. Let's just enjoy it. We're all one unit, one community at this exact moment. I love him for that. It's one of my favorite things about Disturbed. So
Disturbed is one of your. I was going to ask you the question. Disturbed is one of your favorite. Do you have any other influences in how? I mean, I always say who's influenced you, but like as a performer, not necessarily a musician.
As a performer, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah,
Freddie Mercury all the way, because that man didn't hold anything back.
He didn't care what anybody thought.
No, the minute he hit that stage, it was like he was possessed by something.
Right.
And that thing.
He was good at stirring it up too.
I love it. He really was. But the main thing about it is
such a talent.
And I love the fact that they came out with that movie, that Bohemian Rhapsody, because not enough of this generation realizes that it was that day that Freddie Mercury changed what it meant to be a frontman.
Yeah.
He had that stadium and millions around the world.
Got him right here.
Yeah. Like in one moment, as soon as he opened his mouth to say, "Ew," that was
he was almost like a I don't know if it's apples and oranges, but like Elvis Presley was that too. I remember my aunt saw him and she said he just walked out and there it was. He didn't have to sing or nothing.
Well,
Freddie was the same. Like he just walked out and there he was. It's like,
you go back even further, look at Liberace.
Oh, loved Liberace.
Liberace came out,
right?
Garrett, everything was shining.
I am not the world's greatest piano player, but I'm a great entertainer.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And these are the people that I watched over the years and I learned from. Michael Jackson.
The flamboyancy too, right?
Yes.
And wear whatever you want thing.
And the way that they would program out their performances.
Yeah.
I always liked that it may have looked unplanned, and I'm sure with Freddie there was a lot of unplanned.
I'm sure.
I'm sure they had taught themselves how to roll.
He faked it really well.
Yeah, exactly. But like Michael, he would put together his shows like that. That's probably another reason why I'm a fan of Lady Gaga now.
Oh yeah.
I love Lady Gaga. I do. Because she can break it down bare. She can no makeup, just step out onto a stage, sit down at a piano, and you are going to get the same intensity, the same passion, and the same. You're never going to forget the performance.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether she's dressed in something wild or whether she's broken down to nothing, she can do the exact same thing no matter
And
what.
that only works for certain people. Like if you take, let's talk about Kiss. You know, I mean, I mean, Gene Simmons.
People are going to hate me for
that. Is a business. Yeah, no, hey, because I get where you're coming from. I like the band. My buddy Ryan's a huge Kiss fan. So, but the makeup, for example, right? You know, the makeup was there. I mean, they weren't just rock and roll. They were the first to create characters. I don't know if they were the first, but they were the ones that definitely made it a business.
That's what I was just going to say.
I
would say that.
I don't know if you know, they sold it for about $100 million. But when I remember when, I think it was the Lick It Up album came out, when when Lick It Up came out, and they were taking the makeup off.
Oh yeah.
Remember, they were all covered in makeup. Nobody knew. I mean, a few choice did, but the public didn't know what they looked like. And that was an amazing gimmick. You know, you had the demon, you had the cat, you had the spaceman. And some of that changed over to the next drummer. It was a fox instead of a cat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they really played that very well. But that was a business gimmick. The music, yeah, it's cool. They even kind of did a disco thing. Gene Simmons talked about it, you know. But when they took the makeup off, I don't think it went as well as they would have liked it to.
Which is weird because
they couldn't perform the same way.
One of my favorite songs, actually a Kiss song that I really enjoy, is Domino.
Oh,
and it's one of the few where they weren't wearing any of the makeup.
Yeah.
Even the music video, like they're none of the makeup, none of the gimmick, anything else like that. But I will agree that Kiss definitely defined music business.
100%.
Gene Simmons
figured
out that
could get 50 cents for every person who painted it on their face at Halloween, he'd have even more money. I get it. I get it. You know, it's and I think a lot of people get into music with the intent of, I just want to be heard, but I want to be paid for what I'm doing. But then it really becomes a business. Like, would you agree that it's music first and then business, but at some point it switches to business first and then music?
The problem is
depending on the level
you need the balance, right? You need, because in order to continue to go out and play the gigs, you need the money.
Yeah.
That's where the issue becomes, is that you can't do one without the other. And I think a lot of venues have forgotten this these days too, right? Like, there's posts everywhere all the time where they talk about, you know, the band that you just saw last night, you know, they got paid $100 a head. But here's the thing, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, $100 for one night's work? That's not bad at all.
It's not.
Well, once you take into consideration the gas money they had to spend, setup time, tear down time, all of the equipment that they have to keep serviced, all of the strings, all of the practice time and everything else like that, you're getting paid like $1.
So let's talk about that. Let's go a little deeper. I'm glad you brought that up, because sometimes I'm the one that brings it up, and it looks better when you bring it up. I've had this question with like Sue Weber and
I love Sue.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I love her.
Yeah, I miss George to death.
I know, right? So many people do.
I used to play with him and Terry and Susan when they were with Jamie Lee and the Good Time.
Yeah, right, yeah. And so many. So going way back to when I first got a taste of the entertainment business as the karaoke guy and stuff, was when I met all of that. But they were getting $100 a head back in the 90s and prior to, which was a lot of money. They're now still getting often. There's other gigs come along once in a while. Maybe it's 150. Whose fault is that? Is it the musician's fault for agreeing to it, or is it the venue? I won't say bar owner, because it could be any venue that says that's all I'm paying, and then the musician says, well, okay, I'll take it. Like how do we get that to change?
I have no idea.
Because beer prices have gone up.
And this is the thing, right? And this has been the complaint of a lot of musicians for years and years and years. Our pay scale really,
and the union
changed.
Doesn't work, because that was tried at least around here. I remember back.
Yeah, and the union rate is $100 a head.
Yeah,
it's $100 a head per musician for whatever show that you're going to put on.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like, but I do remember a time where like they would pay you a good chunk of money to come out and play for a weekend. Like they'd pay you $2,500 to come out and play for 2 days.
Yeah, you look like it. Even like the Mark Blaney's of the world. You know, I remember him years ago. Robbie Bees, he had a full-time gig, got paid great money, and was and as he should, very talented, very entertaining. Robbie Bees, that was where you went to see Mark Blaney 5 nights a week, right?
Believe it or not, I think that we're starting to come back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Venues are starting to realize, you know, like we want to bring people in. We got to bring in some more live music. People are wanting more live music again. The whole nothing for 2 years during COVID.
I mean, especially Sarnia, Sean, I think is. I always say Sarnia, but Lambton County is. Many times talking here on the show is a hub for entertainment.
There is a lot more now. Like I said, I think we're starting to come back now.
I do see more venues bringing back the live music more, which I think is what you're alluding to.
Yeah.
You got AJ's downtown. You got Padres out here. You know, Bad Dog. I don't know about Corunna, but I know in Sarnia, like every Friday, they got live music going on.
Yeah, First Fridays in Sarnia is a really good deal because they're actually showcasing a lot of local artists, which I really enjoy. Being a fan of my own band is one thing. I have other local bands that I'm a fan of. I'm a huge fan of Beer Store Money.
Oh, yeah.
I love all those guys. I love Mel and Chris and Mel, Chris, and Marcus were the ones who started it, and Craig.
I remember I interviewed them a few years ago,
and I love them all. I actually did some recordings.
I was still drinking at the time. I don't anymore, but I remember interviewing them, and I just remember just liking the name. It's Beer Store Money. All right, that's what we're in here for.
I actually did some recordings of just Chris and Mel, a Smoke Break duo, in my studio. They were fantastic. They're a lot of fun. I performed with Chris for a little while.
I know they do open mics too.
Oh yeah, Right, yeah. And so I mean, I think we all, as artists, we all have our own favorite locals that we support each other. Back when we did Food Bank Money, it was a couple of years back. We were trying to raise money for the food bank, which is why I wear the 8 on my jersey. Because I
was going to ask you, what's the 8 for?
It's #HaveYou8Today movement.
Oh, okay.
That's why I wear the number 8. It's the #HaveYou8Today movement, because that was the whole point of our thing, was that, you know, have you ate today? Mm-hmm. Food bank's empty. We're trying to raise money. I know we raised almost over $1,400 that night.
That's amazing.
Plus, we filled my van with food. Crazy filled the van with food, and we brought everything over, and they were really happy about that. But that was one of my favorite things from Beer Store Money that I was like, you know.
So let's talk about that piece. The word community is obviously important to you. Why and where does that come from? Who taught you that?
Well, I mean, I guess it was just the way that I was raised. You know, community is how you come together, and that's how you do things. And there's definitely been more than a few times in my life that without the community, I would have been screwed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it takes nothing. It takes nothing for us to care about one other person throughout our day, every day.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be money donated.
No, it doesn't.
It can just be a kind word. It can be holding the door.
It can be just about anything. One little simple act of kindness. You have no idea. There could be a dude walk past you on the street who's thinking about ending everything about himself. Yeah. And because you turned and went, "Hey, man, I love your mustache."
Yeah.
All of a sudden, his entire outlook has changed. Yeah. It takes nothing. You don't even have to think about it. Just as an automatic reflex.
And it goes for everybody. I think a lot of times, you know, we look at someone and we judge them based on what they're wearing, what they look like. And then there's obviously people in our community that are well known, dominant, whatever, like very, some people we would look up to a lot and go, wow, they got it all going on. And
they don't.
Walking by you and they're still having a day or a week or a month. Who knows?
Well, right? Yeah, that's
so everybody needs it.
That's another reason why we were so glad to be a part of Captain Kids, because they were promoting for the Canadian mental health.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize, and they don't know, that our opening and closing numbers when we perform were written in part by Jesse Gaudette. He's from here in Corunna.
Oh.
He was my drummer before I got with Boneyard, and he died at 24.
Oh no.
And mental health.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah, that was really bad.
Well, and, Captain Kid Days brought that in. There's a lot going on there, but I know there was a couple in particular that said, "Hey, we need to make mental health a part of Captain Kid Days."
And I'm really glad they did, because, like I said, too many of these young people, we're losing too many people now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, you got all these young people that are just suffering so badly with the mental health situation.
1 in 4.
And so if we as a band, when we go out, we can promote some of that kindness that just tries to help with some of that, would take the opportunity any day of the week.
Well, you make that a point of doing that, especially at Captain Kid Days. I wasn't there, but I saw a lot of videos out there of you running around and playing and singing with the kids. And I remember several comments, but one in particular was, "That's just so amazing to see what the Minister of Madness, did with those kids that day. Thank you for doing that." And I've gone back and I see my kid is still talking about that. And thank you for. So you hear the name Minister of Madness, but it's really a positive character. Madness doesn't have to be evil.
That was, yes, thank you very much. I love that. I love that, because that's kind of the whole point. And one of the other things too is that when you want the crowd to feel like they're involved in stuff.
Sure, engagement.
Yeah, and it's Captain Kids Day.
Yeah.
So when they started following me, that was one of my favorite moments. I even made a post about that, how that was my favorite moment from the entire thing, was when I Pied Pipered all the kids around on the field and everything. I thought, you're going to do some
you
work
even
too.
said that. I feel like a Pied Piper. You're very conscious about your performance in many ways, but like a moment that stood out for me, like you're conscious about the illusion that you're creating, right? Because I remember you guys were setting up on stage, or trying to get through, a little behind, or trying to get things rolling, and you had gone off stage to go get dressed, and then you were coming back and you had forgotten something or whatever, and you had to go back, and you were going to go, and you're, oh wait, no, I can't. And you took off your jacket, your long jacket, and your hat, and you handed it to me and said, hold on to this for a second. Now, you could have just easily walked up on stage with it all on, but it seemed to me that you were conscious about the illusion, because you weren't ready for them to see that one yet.
No.
So I'm standing here holding this hat, and I go, oh, okay, I'm your guy now, I guess, right? Whatever. But is that a fair? Did I catch that?
Oh yeah, I'm highly conscious of that kind of.
And
thing.
then you change too, right?
Yeah, I always love to change my outfits during the show. It's one of the things. It's one of the things that our personal fans have come to really enjoy, is the fact you never know what I'm going to do next. You never know what kind of outfit I'm going to throw on. You never know where I'm going to go, and that falls back to why we love playing at Padres.
That's got to be hard on the band.
Oh, it is sometimes. It really is. It really is. God love them. They put up with some stuff for me sometimes, because I do. I go off script. I go off book, and I do things, and they've learned to adapt really well.
We're doing 5 verses of this song.
The problem is sometimes I get a little carried away. Yeah, and then they got to reel me in just a little bit, because if the madness takes too hold, I'm going to be off and running, and then there's no pulling the song back in after that.
Take the wireless microphone away from you.
No, they can't do that. Can't do that. I got to be out with the fans and the crowd. I knew when we went to play that show that I I was going to make sure I had a wireless system.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have mattered if that field would have been full up to the
Well, it
rail.
gives you a little
I would have been
permission
down
to
in there.
Do more, right?
Yeah, I just can't. I can't stay. It's been. I don't know if it's considered a positive or a negative the entire time we performed, but I've never been able to stay back in the back line.
Yeah.
I always got to step out. I always got to kind of move around, and I got to be in the crowd and in people's faces and stuff.
Yeah.
And I find my favorite thing about that is, again, you get to draw them into the experience.
Yeah. I love it.
You got to be part of the show. You got to be part of the show. As a matter of fact, the guy at Padres, the owner of Padres, I was talking to him yesterday, and he was commenting about that, how he's been trying to find other bands to book into Padres. And the issue he's having is the fact that he watches the videos and everything else, and they sound amazing.
They just go up there and play.
But they're not putting on a show.
Yeah.
And he's like, are there any other bands out there like you guys? And I'm like, well, hopefully you'll find
there's
some.
A couple. I mean, you look at a band like Song Machine, for example, like Sean Robbins and the band there, and they're doing the Love Shack and all that. But they're a fun band. They're interactive. They're throwing T-shirts out to the crowd, but they're they got the glitter and gold on, and they got the guys and the gals, and there's like, I don't know, there's 20 of them.
Do you remember the name of the band that played the Saturday night? She was wearing that onesie.
Oh, yeah. They played there last year too, and that's and I love them, and I can't. It's not coming.
I can't for the life of me remember the name.
She got up on stage.
Either way, they
bottom.
When I was there on the Saturday night, they were really good. I didn't get a chance.
Anyway, I do remember them. I just don't remember the name at the moment. But yes, I remember her, and then the other girl in the band. I think it was the bass player, and same thing. Like they're performing, and there's a piece to that is important, the performance side, in the sense of as long as you can carry a tune. But I would sooner see a performance of a decent singer than an amazing singer just standing there. Same with like a guitar player, for example. I know some guitar players, just absolutely amazing, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
There's no performance in there, right? And
see, luckily in our band we have three. We have three guitarists in our band.
Right,
so
yeah.
Basically
I know. Like when I interviewed the guys there, Leo and the boys, there was like, and we have a guitar player and a guitar player and a guitar. I'm like, what? Right?
3 lead players in a band is extreme. But I'll tell you what, they figure it out. They figure out who's going to take what solo and where. They figure out who's going to accent here, who's going to accent there.
Yeah.
And by the time they're done and they piece together all this music, it's just amazing.
Well, you guys are picking some stuff too that are not typical, which I think is intentional.
Yes, it is.
But
glad you noticed.
Your voice, like you're talking like the Boston and the Journey, like way up high up there, and some other, some Ozzy, of course, and stuff like that. But not stuff you're typically hearing in a band, which is great.
Yeah.
But and we keep saying the band, but Boneyard is the band.
Yes, Boneyard band.
You guys were in a contest not too long ago.
Yep.
And didn't make it all the way, but I think you got pretty.
Our fans got us all the way to the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
that's the reality. Our fans
you got
and our
recognized
sponsors
for that, because aren't you guys going out east or something, or somewhere? You're going out of town somewhere. Leo was telling me, I think, that you're going to play.
I'm not sure.
He handles that, right?
Yeah, Leo handles all our bookings. He handles all our stuff like that. Yeah. As far as band managers go, I love it. I love it because every other band I've ever been in, I had to double as a booking agent, band manager, everything else like that. This one, I don't have to do any of that. Leo handles it all. Yeah. But he is one of the most amazing booking agents that I've ever seen in my life. Like, we haven't been together a full 2 years. He books us. There isn't a month where we're not playing.
Yeah.
Like he's got us constantly booked, and we're getting paid a decent amount of money.
I know you're popular at the Legion in Sarnia.
Yeah, they love us in Sarnia. That one really messed me up. Okay, I thought we're bringing in this high octane rock show, and we're gonna go play at the Sarnia Legion. And I understood before we went there.
I thought it'd be a little different.
Yeah, I thought because of the age demographic, right? I'm like, these people are gonna hate us.
Right.
I'm like, because we're so loud and we're so this and that. No, the complete opposite. It turns out it's been one of our best venues to play at.
I think Leo and the boys were telling me you had them line dancing to
Alice in Chains.
Yeah, Alice in Chains. And I was like, what?
When you see 20 people, 20 older generation people line dancing to Alice in Chains, it's like, I'm doing Man in the Box, and they're like,
right?
It almost breaks me. Like, I almost.
The guys are like, you got to see it, bros. You got to come out and see it.
You really do. Like, you don't even understand until you actually witness it. And you're like, this is really happening right now.
There's such a positive vibe at the Legion too, right? There that you know, they've come through a lot of change, and like, well, that stigma of we're gonna go play for a bunch of old veterans, you know, like, are they gonna even want to hear us, you know? But it's changed so much, right? They've brought in a younger crowd, middle-aged crowd. They got them all, right? You know, and,
well, and there was some drama too. There was a couple of people who were upset that I was wearing my hat inside the Legion. But here's the thing. The guy who hired us, I had already pre-asked permission. Right. I was like, because I wanted to be respectful. I'm like, but you have to understand, I'm like, it's part of my outfit.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's part of the show. I don't wear it all the time, but I do have them where I come out.
But if they'd have said
and
no hats, you would have respected it.
I would have respected it, but the reality is they outright gave me, they said, no, that's why we hired you guys to come in here. Like, we want the performance. And if that's part of your performance, and he even defended me on the actual Sarnia Legion page, because somebody came after me pretty hard about wearing. Wow. He was like, listen, he has permission because it's part of the show. It's part of his outfits and everything else. So please, you know, understand he's not being disrespectful, because I would never be disrespectful about any of that. The one night we went and played, they were having something very serious going on upstairs.
Oh, okay.
We had just started our show. We got the opening number, broke into the second one, and they came down and they asked us, they were like, listen, we're trying to do this thing upstairs or whatever. Is there any way you guys can hold off for about 20 minutes? Absolutely no problem. We're like, yep, not a problem at all. We stopped. Half of them came downstairs afterwards and came to the show.
Right. There you go.
So, like, you know, like, you can't really complain about that. And everybody had a really great time.
Too, to be able to have two venues going on, and they've done so much in our community as well. And you've built a great relationship there. And Boneyard, again, like I say, you've got so many. What do you got? 6 members? 5?
Yep, we've got 6 members.
Yeah. And your voice, like the ones you take, the songs that you take on, like, are not easy. I know from like, my wife sings in a band too, and she was doing the Journey in the Boston, whatever, and it's like, wow, like, all my years of singing karaoke, I sang a lot of different things, but I didn't. Nope. I would read that title and go, not doing that one. You know, so for you to be able to take that one, where does your like, did you have training? You just self-taught? YouTube? Like, you just open up your mouth and learn?
It's ever since I was a kid. I just started singing and doing things. It started out as a mimic. So I would learn how to sing like other artists and stuff like that. Like, I can mimic Eric Clapton. Oh, yeah. I can mimic Elvis Presley. I can mimic Jim Morrison from The Doors. Oh, nice. I can, like I learned how to do that. And then when I would listen to other people's music, I wouldn't sing it the way they sang it. I'd sing it like a backup vocalist.
Oh, okay.
So it was always in a different pitch or in a different key so that I could shift it. So I basically trained my voice to do whatever I wanted it to when I was really young. But then I made the mistake of becoming a smoker, which took, believe it or not, as high as I can go now. If I would have never started smoking, I would have been like as high as Adam Lambert.
Wow.
Like, I would have been able to hammer some serious notes.
Because that's it's a unique voice. Like, if you go back into the 70s rock, right? Of like, Boston's, you know, like, it's been such a long time, and you know, even the Journeys, like that was like that instrumental rock, like opera rock, I guess. Kind of, you go to Queen. Right? I do get what you mean. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. We don't get that so much anymore, do we?
Well, no, a lot of artists are kind of scared to hit those kind of genres and stuff like that, and those kinds of songs.
Because it's hard.
Well, yeah, it's very easy to make a mistake. It's very
Look
easy
at
to
David
crack.
Lee
It's
Roth
very
and the
easy
voice
to
he had, right?
exactly. It's very easy to blow out. And the guys in the band, they're always giving me a hard time because to be quite honest, I don't have the confidence in my voice that they do. They have way more confidence in my voice than I ever will.
Though.
And
that's supportive, right?
It is very supportive, and it's amazing. They'll tell me, "Let's try this song." I don't know if I can do that. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you can." And then they'll make me do it, and I didn't even realize I could sing that song.
Find the key too, and all that stuff, right?
One of the other things I like is the fact that, again, when we do a band song, when we do cover songs from bands, we try not to cover ones that everybody else is covering. Yeah. That's why when we did Journey,
if I hear Mustang Sally or Brown Eyed Girl, I'm gone.
Right? But that's why when we chose Journey songs, instead of doing Don't Stop Believin', which every band would do, let's do Separate Ways. It's more us anyway because it's got that rock freaking.
Yeah, I love Separate Ways.
And I like, because I always wanted to do a Journey song, but I definitely did not want to do that. No. And as soon as I mentioned it, the guys in the band, they were like, "Yeah, this is what we're doing." Sometimes it's really weird too. We'll be at band practice. One of the guys in the band will just start randomly playing a song that they know.
Yeah.
And it's not in our repertoire. It's not anything else. Somebody else is tuning. Somebody else is doing this, and they'll just start randomly playing it. And within the next 10 minutes, it's now a part of our set.
Cool.
And we had no idea it was going to be like that when we walked into band practice that day. Right. But it's like sometimes the songs just speak to us, and we'll do something to it, or we'll shape it a different way. Like our version.
Maybe make it your own.
Our version of Radar Love will make you completely bored with the original.
I did hear you do it, and that's a favorite of mine, especially on my motorcycle. Right? It's like I got the music going in the helmet, and when that kicks in. I don't know what it is about that song. It's almost like you're just turning the corner, ready to open road, and that song kicks in, and it's like better than Born to Be Wild, you know? And it's
yep.
Like, oh, okay, here we go, going for a cruise here now, right?
So we sped it up just a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And we added a little more meat to it. The guitarist,
because that's honestly a song at me. I would judge you and go, okay, you better nail this.
Well,
so to play with that song is dangerous.
It's very cool too, because a lot of the leads and stuff in there, they actually took it from 2 different versions of that song.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a White Lion version. And then there's, oh, geez. Well, I can't remember the name of the other band.
That's terrible.
Anyway, there's 2 different versions of it, right? And the guitarist, they broke it down. And Brad especially, he kind of broke it down. And he took part of this solo from this version and this version and this, and he created this wild solo extravaganza that's in the song. And we took out the drum solo altogether. We cut that out, and we just made it. We just wanted to keep it going hot and hard the entire time. And the guys in the band, they do such an amazing
Golden
job.
Earring, that's who.
Golden Earring, that's it.
Brain fart there. Yeah.
That's it right there. Yeah. So he took both versions. And
I don't know,
turned it into something.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out. Do you write your own songs? Are you a lyricist?
I've been writing for more than 30 years. I've actually written, geez, I can't even tell you.
And do you put that into the show too?
Well, I mean, we're trying to incorporate originals coming up. I have a couple that we're working on.
Are you going to put an album out? Or?
This would be the end objective, is to get enough originals that we can put some sort of album out. In the interim, we're just trying to get our name out there, so that by the time we're ready to start shifting these originals into our sets, people will already know us.
Right.
And then they'll feel like they're just songs they've heard before when they really haven't.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of how we're going to fold things.
That's how Platinum Blonde started. I don't know if you know. I might have told Leo and the boys, or I've told the story a few times, but I met Mark Holmes years ago and interviewed him at the old station when they came to town to play. And I said, how did you guys get started? And he says, well, actually, we were a cover band. And they played in, I think it was Montreal, anyway, or Toronto. Anyway, they were a cover band. They were a Police cover band. So, you know,
okay.
Sting, like all that stuff, right? he said what we started doing was taking our own songs and putting them in the set. And he goes, but what we didn't go up and say, all right, this is one of our own, man. We hope you like it. He said, we didn't tell anybody that it was our song. We just played it. And we saw the reaction that we either got or we didn't get. We could see the reaction. And we never told anybody that it was ours. And then we would just, like every couple of 3 songs, we would slide one of our own in there. And he said it got to the point where people started saying, what's that song you play? That's so cool. Can you play that tonight? Are you going to play that? Oh, yeah, sure. And then finally, we let people know that it was our music. And then that's all they wanted. And we became Platinum Blonde, playing our own music. So you just kind of, because if you go up there, I think, you know, he sort of alluded to that if you, this is one of our own, hope you like it. People they kick right into judgment. Oh, it's going to be an original. Right? It's hard to get that out there. So sneak it in there. I'd love to see a rock and roll version of Copacabana.
See, right now I'm working on a rock opera version style of Michael Bublé's "Feeling Good."
Perfect. Do it.
It's going to be monstrous. That's one of the things I was working on the piano before you got here. Because it's gonna be wild when it's done.
Well, I look forward to hearing it. I want to talk more, but I gotta shut things down. We're out of time.
Almost, and, we're almost right out of time here.
We're right there, but
is there anything you wanted to ask me that you didn't get a chance to?
No, well, geez, we could probably talk to you for hours, but no, I really I like not knowing what to expect when I'm driving to the person, and I had a rough idea we're going to talk music and stuff, but you covered a lot of stuff, from religion to life and everything else. And that's, you asked me the question, why me? And in this interview, you answered the reason why.
Thank you very much.
True story. So thank you so much, Sean Boivin. And Boneyard, you got to check them out online.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, we've got a show coming up at the end of this month on the 30th.
Yeah, right.
We are playing at the Imperial City Brew.
Oh, great place.
And I love it in there. The big ceilings and everything else. We make it sound absolutely awesome in there. So make sure you come out for that, because that one's going to be really fun. We got new tunes. Of course, I have new outfits.
Cool. Check them out. We'll put that in the comments so you know about that. I love Rena and everybody there in Imperial City. So you know what I'm going to say. Click the like, click the love button, actually, and click the share button. It's the most important button to share Sean and everybody else's story I have here. But as always, that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. We'll see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.